Hey guys, DC Network here, coming at you with another video. Duncanrolu in a recent Twitter Q&A session discussed a myriad of topics, including the potential for a Ben 10 RPG video game, which I find to be rather interesting, and we discussed this a little bit in my last video on Ben 10 with the Lucky Girl spin-off series, and I'll leave a card above to that video if you haven't seen that. But pretty much all you need to know is Duncanrolu and Man of Action have interest in doing a Ben 10 game in the form of an RPG, which I think would be rather interesting to see for a multitude of reasons. I'm a person who personally is a fan of RPGs. They're not my favorite game genre, but they're something that I definitely do enjoy playing. Like, for example, I love playing Pokemon. It is actually my favorite game franchise of all time. I've also played RPGs like Yokai Watch before. I'm currently actually playing Persona 3 Reload on my Xbox and have played Persona 5 and parts of Persona 5 Royale, and while those are all great RPGs in their own right, I don't think a Ben 10 RPG would be anything like the games I've just mentioned to you. What I think a Ben 10 RPG could be like is, in all honesty, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. I think following the Dragon Ball Z Kakarot would be perfect for a Ben 10 RPG. If you guys don't know, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is an action RPG that pretty much retells the stories of Dragon Ball Z, and it's had some DLC that has told some new stories within the Dragon Ball universe as well. And I think that an open world action RPG like that would be perfect for Ben 10. And we discussed this a little bit at the end of the video, but imagine if you have a game where the main game is following Ben 10. So obviously he is the main character, hence, you know, the name of the franchise is Ben 10. And you get to play as him and you get to travel the galaxy, go to different alien worlds, kind of like that galactic road trip that was set up at the end of Omniverse. Maybe you have some side quests where you play as Kevin, Gwen, Grandpa Max, or even Rook, and you get to explore the galaxy and unearth new secrets about Ben 10's world or Ben 10's lore that we don't know or haven't seen before. I feel like a game like this could take multiple forms. They could either do something kind of like Dragon Ball Z Kakarot did, where you're retelling the story of either the original Ben 10, Alien Force, Ultimate Alien, or Omniverse, or maybe a combination of the four within this game. And while something like that would be awesome to see in a trip down memory lane, what I think is much more interesting, at least to me, is telling a brand new story in the world of Ben 10 within this game. Imagine that this action RPG takes place during the original continuity following the events of Omniverse. We never got to see that galactic road trip that they were teasing, but maybe it would take the form of this game. Imagine you're going to world to world to world within the Ben 10 universe, the Ben 10 galaxy, and as you're traveling these worlds, you get to scan aliens into your Omnitrix. How cool would it be to go to the planet that Heat Blast is from, and you see a Heat Blast running in the wild, and you get to scan its DNA, and all of a sudden that's how you unlock Heat Blast. Imagine you go to the, I forgot the name of the planet, but the planet that Ghost Freak is from. You can run around that world to look for Zaskar, and that's how you get Ghost Freak's DNA. That planet also has Ben Wolf, Ben Mummy, and Ben Victor's DNA. It could also have Vampire's DNA as well. Imagine they even decide to create new worlds within Ben 10 that us Ben 10 fans have never heard of before. All of a sudden you're traveling this swampy world and you come across an alien that is unfamiliar to us, but your Omnitrix is flashing saying you can scan its DNA, and all of a sudden you have a brand new alien introduced to the Ben 10 world, a brand new alien that Ben can use at his disposal. I just picture a game like this being so much fun. It's kind of like a bit like that creature collection element that you would get in something like Persona or Yokai Watch or Pokemon, where you're going to all these different alien worlds to collect samples of DNA for your Omnitrix so then Ben can transform into these aliens. But how cool would it be, as I said before, that you're going to these worlds and you see brand new aliens that you've never seen before and they get introduced in this game? I feel like that would be such a fun experience for both Ben 10 fans, new and old, to explore these worlds and experience that for the first time. Now, do I think something like this would ever happen? Absolutely not. I don't think Cartoon Network ever comes close to making this, not a chance at all, just because if you look at their history with games, everything they've made has been on the lower end of the budgetary scale, and a game like this, a game of this scale that I'm describing to you guys, where you get to travel the Ben 10 galaxy in a brand new original story with brand new aliens along the way that Ben gets to unlock in his Omnitrix, that's going to take a high budget to do, at least a high budget to do it well, and I just don't see Cartoon Network putting the money down down to do that, just because, like I said, in the past they've shown a reluctancy to do so. And as much as I love Samurai Jack Battle Through Time, let's be honest here, that's not exactly a game that has a high budget. But for now, I think that this is just going to be a cool idea that Man of Action has that us fans can speculate on and morph it into our own big ideas, like I did with my, action RPG that would be open world with all these alien worlds and brand new aliens to explore and discover. And I would love to do something like that. I just don't see Cartoon Network ever doing that because it's going to cost a lot of money to do, and Cartoon Network just has shown a reluctancy to spend a lot of money on games. But that would be such a cool way to explore the original continuity again with Ben. And it doesn't even need to be the original continuity. It could just be a brand new continuity that, let's just say they create like the Ben 10 gaming universe, kind of like how Sony's doing with Spider-Man, how there's now this Spider-Man video game universe, and they made Spider-Man Miles Morales, Spider-Man 2. They're going to introduce Wolverine and eventually an X-Men game and a Venom game into this world. Imagine doing something like that, but in the world of Ben 10. For hypothetical sake, just because why not? This is kind of fun to just think about. Imagine that they do make a Ben 10 game and, you get Yuri Lowenthal to voice Ben 10 once again, just how he voices Peter Parker in those Spider-Man games. And it's so successful that they decide to not only make a sequel title to it, but spin-off titles as well, where maybe one game you're playing as Gwen and you get to traverse the galaxy as her, and maybe Charmcaster's the big villain. Another game you get to play as Kevin and you have to maybe traverse the Null Void. Imagine if you're playing these games and you get sent into the Null Void and it's kind of like a dungeon that you have to find your way out of. Imagine the aliens you could find in there. Imagine all of the different unique species Ben would be able to scan in there. I just think a game like this would be so much fun to play, but unfortunately, like I said before, I think it's just going to be a thing of our imagination for now, because I don't think Cartoon Network's ever going to touch something like this. Anyways, let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about all of this. Would you guys like to play a Ben 10 game like this, as I just described to you guys? An open world action RPG where you get to explore the galaxy and traverse all these different alien planets and whatnot. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to see more content like this from DC Network. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.